It's the Week 11 version of Versus. Say that 10 times in a row. Matt Baker, Julio Caravetta. Julio fresh off his Thanksgiving meal with Jamie Terrace. Oh, to be a fly on the wall there.
Well, you could imagine that, well, first of all, it was fantastic dinner. We had a great time. But I always love talking to Jamie. We usually have a weekly chat. And because he's an offensive lineman, he loves to talk about the trenches. So I always love to get his perspective. He's always got a great perspective of what's happening and you know what he thinks needs to be done. But it was lots of fun.
Good. And we also know October, right? Big time of year. The games get more important. It's a big one here coming up against Calgary. All of a sudden tied in points. And I want to start there. I mean, let's talk about the sense of urgency for both teams. A Lions win. We wrap up the season series, control our fate, move into a tie for second place all of a sudden. A loss, and all of a sudden it gets a little more interesting breaking down this puzzle in the West. So both teams have to really be approaching this with a sense of urgency.
You know, there is no way around it, right? Everybody realizes the magnitude of this game, and I know there's still 6 weeks left, but you just said it. You're going to put yourself in a position to host a playoff game, and then you're controlling your own destiny, right? What you have in front of you. So the Calgary Stampeders have found a way to crawl themselves back into this thing. I don't think anybody's shocked by that. You know, both these teams are very well matched, but I think too for the Lions, right? I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than this because you get to host them in your own backyard. You know, the Lions, I think they need to find a way to be able to win one of these games, right? We've had some statement games and none bigger than this one. The magnitude of this game is clearly out in front of them. Everybody realizes it. So now it's about going out and executing. They probably didn't enjoy their bye week as much as they probably wanted to, given what happened prior to that, but it's football. It happens. You know, a lot of people have been asking me about that Winnipeg game, and I'll just say this: the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the defending Grey Cup champions for a reason. And I'll continue to say this because I believe it. The BC Lions have a very good team, but they're still young and they're still trying to find their way. And you just gotta lick your wounds. You gotta believe in what you're doing, and you gotta believe in your personnel and your conviction, and you move on. The Lions, again, you can't feel sorry for themselves. They have to be able to stand up and fight back. And there's going to be no better opponent than the Calgary Stampeders.
Let's get into a couple of key matchups. You know, one of those things lingering over our heads during that week off is the running game. Have to get that going. I mean, James Butler's a guy who's shown flashes of it. And well, the Lions are going up against one in Kadeem Carey, reigning top performer of the week. The running game battle going to be huge, especially without Lucky Whitehead here for at least this week.
When you go into a bye week, I know the players probably, were able to enjoy some time off, and hopefully the coaches were as well, but it's always a great way to reevaluate and self-scout yourself, right? Going over what your tendencies are offensively and defensively, and try to make some improvements. You know, I think you said it, right? They need to find a way to run the ball a little bit more effectively, and James Butler, I think, is more than capable. So it'll be interesting to see what, the Lions come up with and whether or not they try to change a little bit of what they're running or their running game scheme. See, the thing about it, Matt, is that I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Any team that's successful in this league, you need to be able to run the ball. And especially given the circumstances of this year and where we are in the season and where we're going to be playing games late in November and early December, that weather is going to be a factor. And that's going to have a massive effect on a team that is throwing the ball. And both these teams realize it. Look at what you just said about Kadeem Carey. 20 carries, over 100 yards. He had 5 10-plus carries. He also caught, 60 yards worth of passes, just over, I think, 69 yards worth on 5 catches. So Dave Dickenson realizes he's got maybe not 100% quarterback in Bo Levi Mitchell, who's, had a broken leg. He's got shoulder issues. What better way to help him than have that running game established? And so the same can be said for the Lions. They need to be able to have that running game to take some pressure off of Michael Reilly and that passing game.
And let's talk about that passing game. Bo Levi, a big reason for Calgary's winning streak here. You can never count him out now that he's healthy. I know he might have been fighting a little bit of those ailments when we were there in week 2, right? But always fun when Michael and Bo go toe-to-toe.
Well, you talk about 2 premier quarterbacks, right? Probably 2 future Hall of Famers. You're right. These guys know each other. They've competed each other at in some big football games like this one coming up. So you know what you're going to get out of those guys, right? You know that they're going to show up. You know that they're going to be ready and prepared. And now it's just about execution, right? It's about that ability to go out there when it's the bullets are flying for real. We've seen that from these guys time and time again. From an entertainment standpoint, when you get two quarterbacks like this, you know you're going to get a good show. I think fans will be in for a real treat this weekend, given the magnitude of the game. And then when you also look at the key players, you've got guys all over the field, but none bigger than the two quarterbacks that are going to be, ready to go.
4 o'clock Saturday. Dig in the early starts. Tickets going fast though. BCLions.com versus. Thanks to our friends at Auto Trader and Julio. We will probably talk to you over the headset at some point.
Exactly. Thanks very much, Matt. I always appreciate it.